Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Macy Marie. This Mother's Day, family and friends gathered to celebrate the life of a mother who was killed back in 2017. WYMT's Lauren McCourt talked with family who are begging for answers.
Losing someone you love is never easy.
It's been unbearable.
Especially when that someone is your daughter.
I don't want any other mother to have to feel the pain that I feel.
On August 10th, 2017, Edna Allen's daughter, Mary Jo, went missing.
I would have took her place in a heartbeat.
And just 3 weeks later, her body was found in a shallow grave.
And all I could do was fall to the floor and yell for my daddy, that they found her, Dad. They found her. But it wasn't the way that we was hoping and praying for.
Her death is still hard to comprehend.
You know, I couldn't really believe it.
As time goes by, loved ones continue to honor Mary Jo.
She's my best friend.
This Mother's Day, those who knew Mary Jo gathered at the church she grew up in to have a balloon release and special prayer that answers will come up soon.
Anybody messed with my little sister, I was always there to protect her. And this makes me feel like I've let her down, that I could not protect her.
Now, all that they have are sweet memories.
We feed over clothes all the time. That was a sister spade.
Though the pain will never fade,
I miss her like crazy.
they will continue to fight for justice for their Mary Jo. In Breathitt County, Lauren McCourt, WYMT Mountain News.
The family asked if you have any information on Mary Jo Allen's death that you contact Kentucky State Police. Bell County deputies are investigating a possible hit and run that happened on Friday afternoon. During the investigation, William Brock took off on an ATV toward his home where the constable was waiting for him there and later detained him. After a search of Brock's home, deputies found more than 500 grams of what appeared to be meth. Deputies also discovered the ATV Brock drove was stolen. He was taken to the Bell County Detention Center. 2 men riding an ATV in Clay County are now behind bars after police arrested them on numerous drug charges yesterday. During a traffic stop along Paw Paw Road, a deputy found Travis Price and Charles Young with drugs. Police say Price, the driver, was searched due to appearance to be under the influence. The deputy later found a cigarette pack with a white substance powder appearing to be meth and several baggies filled with meth for sale. Authorities arrested a man in Virginia for attacking 2 people on the Appalachian Trail in the Wythe County area yesterday with a machete, killing one of the victims and severely injuring the other. James Jordan from Massachusetts was arrested on a federal criminal complaint. Last month, Jordan was charged with threatening people on the Appalachian Trail with an axe. Authorities say the attacks he was arrested for took place yesterday morning.
Well, we were a little bit gloomy on this Mother's Day, but hey, most of us caught a break with those rain chances, and that's continuing into this evening. Let's go ahead and check on Whitesburg right now. Downtown over there, pretty calm right now and drying out like I did mention, so that's definitely some good news heading into these overnight hours. You can see here on Pinpoint Doppler, we are pretty much in the clear as far as rain chances go. Just a few sprinkles popping up throughout eastern Kentucky, but the bulk of the rainfall off to our east, so we are going to be starting to dry out and feeling a little bit drier heading into your Monday. But visibility a little bit on the foggy side in some places like Moorhead, London, seeing just a little bit of fog out there, especially in those valley regions, thanks to all of that moisture from today. And those temperatures cooling off just a little bit into those upper 50s, so a light jacket would not be a bad idea heading out late this evening. Your headlines for tonight: we are going to start to dry out and we are going to have a cooler start to the week, but we're already talking about those next rain chances. Of course, I'll have those details in just a little bit, Macy.
All right, thank you, Kelly. We're learning more today about a pilot who was arrested yesterday for the 2015 shooting deaths of 3 people here in Kentucky. News outlets report 51-year-old Christian R. Martin was arrested at the Louisville airport. American Airlines says in a statement it is cooperating with the investigation. Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear released a statement yesterday about that arrest.
Many steps from here. But we hope this is one example of when you never stop seeking justice, when you never give up on a case, that we can truly get important results for our families.
Investigators have not released a motive for the killings. Martin was indicted yesterday on 3 counts of murder, 1 count of arson, 1 count of attempted arson, burglary in the first degree, and 3 counts of tampering with physical evidence. The indictment was sealed until Martin was taken into custody. A homeless man who lit a homeless West Virginia woman on fire as she slept has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. News outlets report Carl Traman Maggie III was sentenced Friday in Kanawha County Circuit Court. A jury found him guilty of murder by arson in March and later recommended no mercy. Vico Sassafras volunteer fire and rescue crews responded to a house fire along Red Oak Branch in Knott County early this morning. Officials say no one was inside the home at the time. The cause of the fire is not known. A West Virginia University researcher is seeking funding to study whether using fentanyl testing strips changes the behavior of drug users. Some harm reduction programs use the strips to warn drug users of the presence of fentanyl. Dr. Judith Feinberg is a professor at the WVU School of Medicine. She believes it might be safer knowing there is fentanyl in drugs, but people could also use the strips to seek out dangerous drug doses. Over in Rockcastle County, 2 people were arrested for giving alcohol to people who are underage. Police in Brodhead say Shayna Roundtree and Douglas Herring, who are both 20, supplied alcoholic beverages at a party yesterday. The 2 were taken to the Rockcastle Detention Center and were charged with unlawful transaction with a minor. We're nearing the home stretch now in the primary campaign for governor. 4 Democrats and 3 Republicans are vying for their respective parties' nominations. On Wednesday, sponsors with the Kentucky debate between the 4 Democratic candidates hoping to challenge Governor Matt Bevin this fall. Garrett Weimer shows us what to watch for.
Even as things ramp up in the final full week before the primary, you can still hear from the Democratic candidates at the Kentucky debate at UK.
Good morning. From
WKYT political editor Bill Bryant has already spoken with each of them on Kentucky newsmakers, covering a number of issues. Here, Rocky Atkins, the Democratic leader in the state House of Representatives, talks about investing more in public higher education.
The increase in tuition is nothing more than a tax increase on the backs of working families. We got to get more money into higher ed, all levels of education. We got to be looked at as the world-class education system in this global economy.
So it would be
Andy Beshear, current state attorney general, talks about expanding access to the polls.
Well, voting is the bedrock of our democracy, but for far too many families, it's simply too hard. So we want to take steps to make sure that we have more than 20% of eligible voters that come out and select their public officials and then can hold them accountable.
Adam Edlin, former state auditor, talks about jobs in a changing economy.
States all around us are creating thousands of renewable energy jobs, but we're not pursuing that path, and people aren't getting employed in industries of the future because we've got leaders who have their head in the sand. This is about electing a governor who knows what the new economy looks like and knows how to create a path for all our people to get there.
Candidate Jeff Young, also on the ballot, is also scheduled to participate in Wednesday's debate. Primary election day is May 21st. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And on the Republican ballot, Governor Matt Bevin faces a primary challenge from 3 competitors: State Representative Robert Goforth, William Woods, and Ike Lawrence. A debate for Republican candidates was canceled after Bevin and Goforth declined invitations. You can watch the debate here on WYMT on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Senator Rand Paul appeared on ABC's This Week Today. The Republican senator discussed the FISA court and on Congress investigating the president's personal finance.
Primary underlying constitutional issue here is whether or not the FISA court, which is supposed to spy on foreigners, which has a lower constitutional standard, can you use the FISA court to spy on a presidential campaign? Can you use the FISA court to seek information about Americans?
Today is Mother's Day, and while many want a day at the spa or some chocolate, some mothers, well, they're a little different. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher shows us why some of the best gifts are priceless.
Not every mother wants flowers or candy on her special day.
Yeah, this is a little different than going out and dressing up.
Some want something different.
It's peaceful and it's quiet, and you know, moms sometimes need that peace.
Dad's Pay Lake in Johnson County has humble roots.
You know, one day Dad was like, you know, I'd like to see a Pay Lake put in.
To make a long story short, Diana Howard took over the lake. But 2018 was a rough year for her.
My mom died last year, On October the 23rd, she had cancer.
And just when she thought her life could not be harder, she encountered another snag in her line.
And 2.5 months later, my dad passed away.
Making this Mother's Day hard to grasp.
This is my first Mother's Day without my mom.
Sunday moms fish for free.
My mom's not here, and I know this is what she would want.
Losing a loved one is never easy.
Not every day I miss her.
Spending the time you do have together does not need to cost a thing.
You know, seeing them, you know, with their kids, I mean, it makes my heart happy.
Because sometimes the best gifts are memories. In Johnson County, Marian Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Dad's Pay Lake is open 24/7, and this deal went on until midnight. And this Mother's Day is adding up to be an expensive one on the record. The National Retail Federation says $25 billion will be spent on Mother's Day this holiday. That's up more than 8% from just over $23 billion last year. According to the survey, most of the money will be spent on greeting cards, followed by flowers, a special outing like a spa day, gift cards, clothing, and then jewelry. And still to come on Mountain News Weekend Edition. Out to the west of us, the 41st annual Owensboro Barbecue Festival brought thousands out to the city this weekend. And then 35 million Americans were on alert for severe weather today. Details on flooding in the southeast are next.
Well, it's been a soggy day, but will we be catching a break anytime soon? I'll let you know in my full forecast coming up in a few minutes.